Oh.
Would you shut your mouths? Show some respect! Don't listen to them!
What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed weekend. You're watching this. Before I get into this week's review for TNA, just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. Now at 272 apparently. I don't know what the fuck was going on. It went from like 270, 269, back to 270, 271, then back to 270, and then back to 271. Now we're at 272. I mean, like, can't make this shit up. Like, what the fuck? No, but hey, thank you regardless to anyone that has subbed to my channel and continues to watch my content. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I mean it. I don't want to waste any more time because I'm trying to get this shit knocked out before Bound for Glory. And if I don't, then I'm doing Bound for Glory review tomorrow anyway. But I want to try to put this up before Bound for Glory. So, enough of that, let's get started. So first, we start off with a 6-way to determine the last spot in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Alright? And it's going to fast forward to the finish. We see Sami Callihan, he is the Cactus Driver 97, onto King Cass, Killer Cass, tries to pin him. We see AJ Not Styles comes in, needs a shot out of him, steals the pin for the 1, 2, 3. So this means King Cass will be number 1 in the gauntlet, and AJ Not Styles will be number 20 in the gauntlet. But we all know AJ ain't winning. I mean, he ain't challenging for the TNA World title. Ain't happening, at least not right now. So we move on. Next, we get a promo from the Octopus, Mr. Jonathan Gresham. He says that last year, he's not gonna lie, it's been rough for him. He's been depressed, he's been emotional, until he remembered who the fuck I am. I'm one of the greatest wrestlers on God's green earth. And as far as you, Josh, I don't give a damn about what you got going on. What matters, all I care about is 2 men getting in that ring. 2 men over the past 2 decades earning their reputation and name in this business. Going out there and proving who the better man is. And for me, this is personal. It's basically what he said here, so we move on. Next, we get a video package from my nigga, Mike Santana, showing off the streets in which he grew up in, showing off his childhood. Basically, he was like, you can take the man out of the Lower East Side of the streets. You can't take the Lower East Side of the streets out of the man. Moose, you know that already, but it seems I gotta give your baby boy bitch ass a reminder at Bound for Glory. And I said this before, but Mike Santana has been doing his thing ever since he's been back to TNA. I love to see it. So this is good shit here. Then we move on. Next, we get the segment of the night. Right? VIP celebration. Alright, we see Ash by Elegance and the concierge. You got the elaborate setup, from the ring, and they introduce Heather by Elegance. She comes out looking better than ever before, but the crowd completely shits on it. They said, basic white girl. Basic white girl. It's true. It's fucked up, but it's true. This Nashville crowd has been fantastic. These past 3 to 4 episodes. However long they've been down there. Hilarious, right? And Ash was like, don't listen to these bums, fuck them. Alright, you're beautiful. You are beautiful no matter what they say. Segment was hilarious. So fast forward, they're drinking a little bit of the bubbly, alright, to celebrate Heather by Elegance. Alright, then we see Zaya Brookside coming out. She's like, oh, what do we have here? What a party you got going on. Ash is like, you're ruining it. She yelled that shit. I'm sorry, but Ash by Elegance is one of the best characters here in TNA. Extremely entertaining. Alright. But Zaya was like, well, I came out here to remind you what you did to Brantley Reese. You humiliated her last week and you're acting like it didn't happen. Ash was like, it didn't. That was last week. This is this week. Move on. I'm like, she's hilarious. But Zaya was like, well, karma has a funny way of catching up to you. We then see Zaya and Brantley smash Heather and Ash's head into the champagne or the little bit of bubbly. Right, looking like they're bobbing for apples. And then we see Ash screaming to the top of her lungs like she's on the set of Smile 2. She was like, my makeup. Like, I'm telling y'all, this shit was hilarious. Alright, like, you haven't seen the episode, I'm sure they probably upload this shit on YouTube. Go check it out. Fucking hilarious. But that's all that happened here, so we move on. And next, we're looking down the barrel of a weapon, because we get Perk Alexander versus John DeGrusha. Alright, and I would break down this match, but I'm trying to just run through the show because I gotta break down Bound for Glory, so it's gonna take me a minute. But this was an excellent technical matchup. But fast forward to the finish, basically Perk Alexander takes his metal piece out of his knee pad, cracks Gresham inside the head, hits the C4 spike for the 1-2-3. After the match, we see Alexander, the Northern Armory, stop a mudhole into Gresham. Then we see Matlin coming in for the save, but they have the numbers advantage. So he ends up getting his hands zip-tied again. And before Alexander could give him the Mick Foley treatment that The Rock gave him at the Royal Rumble in '99, we see Cody Deaner, Sami Callihan, and Ace Steel coming out for the save. Right, and that's all that happened here, so we move on. Next, we get a video package from my nigga, Mike Santana. He was like, growing up in these grimy ass streets in the BX, I was in survival mode. And honestly, I shouldn't be here right now. I was almost at a crossroads where I would have ended up either dead or in jail. And Moose, you know better than anybody about these streets. But you chose to run away, try to live this lavish and luxurious lifestyle. Me, I chose to stay true to these streets and the people who supported me this entire time. Moose, when I look into your eyes, I see fear. The same fear that you could no longer run from, because at Bound for Glory, you got to go face to face with that fear, because you can't extinguish the fire that burns inside me. Moose, I'm gonna eat you alive and put your ass to rest for good. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. His man Mike Santana has been killing it. He's been firing on all cylinders. And that's basically all he said here, so we move on. And next, we get the match between Winnie Chu versus Jody Threat. I'm just going to fast forward to the finish. Rosemary causes the distraction. Wendy hits her finisher for the 1-2-3. This was a quick match. The right person went over. Gotta make Wendy and Rosemary sort of look strong. I mean, kinda. Even though they've been jobbing now for like the past 2-3 months. Fuck's sake. So they had to get a win here. Makes sense heading into Bound for Glory. That's all that happened here, so we move on. Do you want to know something? Because we get a promo from the system. Eddie Edwards says that tonight was 8-man tag team match is just a taste of what the system plans on doing at Bound for Glory. Brian Myers says, yeah, Bound for Glory, the biggest show of them all. Just the way the system likes it. Then we hear from Dirty Dango, man, do I hate pro wrestling. He says that Bound for Glory, call your shot. Well, I've been calling my shot for 20 years. Hit him with it, Moose. Moose then says, Mike Santana, There's a thin line between courage and stupidity. If you succeed, well, that makes you courageous. But if you fail, and which you will, then I'm going to make you look like a complete dumbass. And yeah, we may be from the streets, but there's a difference between you and me. I made it out. You're still stuck in that mindset, because wherever I go, I'm destined to be the greatest. I'm a generational talent. And that Bound for Glory, not only am I gonna beat the ever-loving hell out of you, we're gonna make you trust the fucking system. That's it. So that leads us to the 8-man tag team match, right, which was the last match of the night. And all these matches tonight were on point. Right, but I'm just gonna fast forward to the finish. It was basically ABC hits the 1-2 sweet, which is the assisted art of finesse to JDC, followed up by the fold from Ace Austin for the 1-2-3. Alright, so ABC and the Hardys go over. Then after the match, System jumps him. Mike Santana tries to get involved, but he gets his ass kicked as well. So you had the System looking strong, even though they lost heading into Bound for Glory. This was a good match, as well as all these matches tonight, and I'm pretty much just speed running through this show because I gotta do Bound for Glory. And it's gonna take me a hot minute. So we now move on to the final segment of the night, which is the dual contract signings for both the Knockouts World Championship and the TNA World Championship. We see Sanji Morella. He says that on Saturday it will be Bound for Glory and it will be historic. And tonight we will sign both these contracts for both the world titles. So without further ado, let me bring out the challenger, Masha Slamovic. Alright, and that pretty much brings out everybody one by one. Challengers first and the champions. Santino then says, "You are looking at 4 of the best professional wrestlers in the world today, and I put my badge on it. So before we sign these contracts, does anybody have anything to say?" Mother Russia, Masha Slamovic. She goes first. She says, "I don't have too much to say, but this is the full circle moment for me. Because 3 years ago, I signed my first TNA contract right here in Nashville." And Nashville puts themselves over like, Nashville, Nashville, Nashville. We then went on to put on one of the greatest knockouts matches of all time. I'm going to sign this contract, I'm going to go for Bound for Glory, and I will become the next TNA Knockouts World Champion after finally beating you. Jordan Grayson says, "Hey, look, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all you've done here in TNA, and this is a full circle moment. But history has a tendency to repeat itself, and we both know how this shit's gonna play out. I believe in Joe Hendry." Dun, dun. Mr. Hendry says that it's been an 11-year journey to reach this point. I never said this publicly, but I remember seeing you for the first time many years ago. And I thought to myself that this man will be a world champion and Nick Nemeth. And it's funny because back then, nobody knew who I was. I played a lawyer on TV. Now there's a legally binding contract that intertwines our destinies and Bound for Glory. The difference now is the whole world is chanting, "We believe." And I believe in myself that I will become the next TNA World Champion. Nick Nemeth then says, "Look, Joe, I have nothing but respect for you. And I hope you know that. But I need you to focus. Or I need you to pay attention because you're going to step into the ring with the show off. Or the man that steals the show every single night. And I don't want you to listen to the naysayers, the haters, talking about how you're washed, you're overrated, you shouldn't be in the spot in the first place. Don't listen to them. Alright, you earned this spot, Joe. But I'm telling you right now, I don't plan on losing this belt anytime soon." Santino then says, "Well, there you go. I'm surprised this went off without a hitch. So, therefore, ladies and gentlemen," and before he can continue, he gets interrupted by the king of TNA, Mr. King Cass, Killer Cass, Frankie Kazarian. King Cass then says, "I hate to be that guy to come out here and break up this little love fest we got going on, but if you guys would stop putting each other over and shut the hell up and let the real star of the show speak. You say he's overrated? Well, guess what? He's overrated, you're overrated, all you guys are overrated." Alright, and in case you're wondering how I was able to become the special guest referee at Bound for Glory, well, let me tell you. Right, and the crowd chants, "You suck, you suck, you suck." Cass says, if you slubs here in Nashville will shut the hell up, I'll tell you just how it happened. First of all, I did my training seminar at the Earl Hebner Referee Academy. Second, I went directly to the execs at Anthem. I went over your head there, Santino, because your badge doesn't mean shit. Because I have tenure, I have seniority over you here, because I'm an OG in this place. Everybody likes me, everybody loves me, I'm a god, I'm a king. And the Anthem execs couldn't agree more, because I'm the perfect choice to be the referee at Bound for Glory. And listen, you two broads, you're lucky that I'm not the referee for your match, because I'll steal your thunder as well. And why the hell you standing up, Nikolai? Sit your ass down. And you, Santino, why don't you make yourself useful for once in your pathetic life and hold my shade, you stooge? Because I'll tell you right now, look at me when I'm talking to you. At Bound for Glory, your little toy badge doesn't mean a damn thing, because you're not the law, I am. The crowd is chanting, kick his ass, kick his ass, kick his ass. And that leads me to you, champ, and to you, Joe. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna call that match right down the middle, fair and square. And I'm telling you guys right now, at the end of the night, the right man will win TNA World Championship. We then see Nick and Joe smash Cass's head into the table. You see Jordan Grace hold him back, trying to restrain Cass here. He spits in the face of Santino Marella. This was the moment where Cass knew he fucked up. So Santino busts out the Cobra that we haven't seen in like 2 decades, hits Cass with it. He's laid out, he's done. We then see Masha, Grace, Hendry, and Nemeth. They all pick his ass up, throw his ass onto the table. Table just completely collapses. Cass is done. Then we see the stare down between the champions and the challengers. And that's it for the go-home show for Bound for Glory. So this was a good show overall. Again, the segment of the night was the VIP celebration for Ash by Elegance. Hilarious. You can go back and check that out. That shit had me dying. Alright? But if you watched this episode, let me know how you guys felt. But other than that, that's all I gotta say about this shit. So, love it, hate it, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's all it's saying to me. I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys. Alright? Next video, you already know, will be the Bound for Glory review. So look forward to that. Wasting off your guys' time. So with that said, be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, trust in God. I'm out of here. Until next time, adios.